Hey everyone, it's Bob McGuffin here, and we are here today with Studio Series Transformers. First one I've actually ever bought. This is Optimus Prime from Transformers Rise of the Beasts. When I used to collect Transformers a lot, used to have a huge collection of them. I've been looking at getting back into them, and the thing that I thought about getting back into them was the Studio Series because I do love the movies. I love the TV show, the original TV show stuff from G1, Beast Wars, stuff like that a lot. And I thought, do you want these things are supposed to be more? These ones, at least so far, they're more based on the movies and or the games, where they're to scale, and they're supposed to fit within the contexts of whatever movie or game that they're from. But yeah, I thought these would be a good starting point to get back into them, and there's something a little bit more premium too, for the most part. But yeah, you get Optimus Prime here. Each figure also includes like a little backdrop there too. I don't know if it's built inside or something. We'll see there soon in a sec. But yeah, let's get them open up here. I chose this figure just mainly because Optimus Prime, obviously, classic figure. But I think, though, too, like, of the newer figures, because the one reason why I kind of stepped away from this, like, trying to get into these, were some of the, especially the movie and the Bayverse figures, they looked too overly gray. And it's not a fault of the toys because, in the movies, there is sometimes a lot of gray on gray or silver on silver, kind of really metallic colors. And that's partly because they were trying to really make them look alien, trying to make them look foreign and like out of this world and futuristic, like more advanced than us. But on the flip side though too, it just also meant that yeah, they kind of looked a little bit so yeah. But these newer figures, they seem to have a lot more detail to them from what I've seen, and I do just like to the way Optimus looks in this movie. He looked a very nice mix between that modern aesthetic that was kind of introduced with the Bayverse movies and stuff. Even though I think I remember this one wasn't done by Michael Bay. I think this was I can't remember his name, but I think they call it a Nightverse because I think it was done by a director with last name Knight. But yeah, but then it also still has a lot of color and a lot of details that resemble the classic look too. So quite nice with that. We just get a couple things here. Looks like a little warning sheet, part warning sheet, and the instructions, and then the figure here himself onto a makeup of or not makeup, but like a fake thing of like what his stand is that came behind him. He has, it looks like, his weapon here. Let's get this all opened up though. Yeah, so this is actually one of the other things too. Each figure of the Studio Series comes with its own display stand, or each box that does these. I haven't really decided if I'm going to keep these yet or not. I'll probably keep them for now until I just decide whether I want to or not. Because, usually with a lot of these figures, I like just having them just kind of standing up on my shelves by themselves. I don't really care about having stuff like this. But I mean, they did go to the work of having this, and yeah, I might keep it. We'll find out. Well, let's get it down here, and we'll try to get Optimus free. Now, just like with those He-Man figures, Optimus seems to have these stupid little bands. And then, I mean, I get they want to secure the figure somehow. And especially in Canada and stuff too, right? Like, there's been a huge push to be like, don't have plastic anymore, don't have this, don't have that. But I'm kind of like, do you know what? I kind of wish you just had just regular, like, normal bubble plastic than using these things. But it's actually kind of cool though, because they actually had for his chest there, his back, I mean, they actually had a little cavity here to actually fit in perfectly, and same thing with like the rest of the legs, so that's actually kind of cool. And his weapon is in the back. Oh, that's just tape, but there we go. Oh, that's his little kind of like gun he has, and there's his sword. Alright, we're gonna put this stuff all just down there. But yeah, here's the actual figure himself. We'll go into him a bit, but just want to see actually how, because I think you're supposed to like move this or something. I should actually look at the instructions. Okay, yeah, so his fist can actually go in around here, I guess. Not really a way to secure that there. So I guess probably he just holds on to that. Ooh. So all he's supposed to do here is just kind of hold on to that, I guess? Or, oh no, it's probably supposed to be on here. Let's go to the back of the box and just see, without even looking at the instructions. Yeah, so they just kind of have it just kind of sitting on the edge there, it looks like. Oh, so that's what they do. So is it... I don't know, that's weird. It makes it look like it's supposed to be... See, he can't really hold it like that. Well, he can, like, if you wanted to, you could put it like this, though, too, I guess. But I just noticed this blade is actually the opposite side. If that is supposed to be how it connects, because it looks like it's connecting on this way. But that's the opposite side, unless he actually had a separate piece here that he can use. That flips down or something to actually use it that way. Because they're showing it clips on like this. Oh, do you want their... That's probably what they're doing. Maybe they're putting it in here. Oh, okay, there we go. Okay, so it just clips in like that. There's like a little teeny hole right here that can fit in right there. And then, yeah. And I guess they have this for like an alternate. I kind of wish, though, that they just did the one way or the other. They didn't have this side. I just prefer that just because then, yeah. So with his hands themselves, like, I mean, they got a little bit of movement just from the wrist, which is just natural from it being able to go up and down like that. But we're going to put it like this so we can just get him matching almost like how the box with his gun and his sword. Looks like maybe he's supposed to be like this. I don't know. But yeah, we'll get into here. Let's check out his head. His face is really not too bad. Not too bad at all. Sorry there, my camera's just not focusing. Like I said, I do like this because, you know, it's got that very, you know, a bit of the modern and a bit of the classic look integrated together. So, like, even when you look at the head sculpt and stuff here, you can tell it's very extremely G1 inspired. Same with the front here. But yeah, he does have waist articulation, which is nice. And he actually can, like, move his torso, which is part of naturally, I guess, from his transformation. But yeah, you can actually do a little ab crunch because of that. His head's just on a little ball joint, but it doesn't really move too much. His arm go up and down like that. And it can turn, but it also has a very stiff connection, which I like because, you know, with figures like this, you definitely don't want them have any issues. His arm, I'm going to try to get in close here. It can turn that way, and it's got a double joint on the elbow. So it's got this little, like, pin here. If there we go. So yeah, it's got the little pin there. It's got a secondary pin here, which is a little bit more stiffer, but can also move up and down, which is nice. So you can get pretty good, like, crunch there on his arm. But it only moves there. It doesn't move anywhere in the forearm, sadly. So, you know, you are a little bit limited there. But, you know, get what you can get. His other arm, very same movement. Just goes up and down like that. Turns here. And then the double pin with the little pivot joint at the, guess over the bottom of the bicep. But yeah. And then he does have little flaps here for his thigh guards. They go up there. His legs. He gets a... Okay, so that's a little bit different. So, again, transformation thing. That's what it is. So, yeah, his leg does come out like that, but that's more because of his transformation. So instead of having, like, a traditional ball joint here like you would in most figures, he just only can kick out, like, his entire, like, thigh like this when he, like, puts his leg out. Would look kind of weird, especially from the back there, because, like, you know, then you have this big huge gap here now. But I guess the main feature that they're probably thinking is that most people are just going to have him standing up a little bit normal. He can almost kind of do the splits. He doesn't have too much mobility there, but he can get that up pretty far. And he does have a little bit of a twist there, so he can move that a little bit. I wouldn't do it too much. It does feel like it resists quite a bit, and you probably would break the figure. The knee, it looks like it's a double joint at first, but it's not. It's actually is just a single joint, but he does get a pretty good bend at the knee, though. Like, that's actually pretty good even for being a single joint. And then for the bottom for his feet, I think this is again limited because of transformation and stuff wise. He does have a little bit of movement, like, you know, this rocks back and forth here. But that's all it is. It's kind of like a pin joint that just rocks or tilts just back and forth there. It can't, oh, it can do a little bit of forward and backward, but not too much. It's looks like it's a ball joint, but it's just restricted by just how much it can actually move here. So yeah, but overall not too bad. I mean, like, you can get a little bit probably of dynamic poses here. See if I can get them kind of. But, you know, it's not going to be extreme, or you're not going to be able to do, like, a lot with it. Which, you know, for these figures, I don't think having... I think having limited mobility works in their favor. One, because anyone who's ever owned a Transformer knows, especially when they're too much heavy on the ball joints or the ratchets and stuff like that, the more and more you play with them, or the more you transform them, you turn them around back and forth, you know, the more issues those joints have, and the more wear and tear, and the easier and the more flimsier too the figures become. So I think having limited mobility works in his favor, especially for this kind of figure, which is supposed to be more of a shelf figure. You know, it's more of a posing collector's figure. So you know, you're kind of supposed to get him into that one pose that's kind of unique and can kind of keep onto a stand. So like, here's a stand here, and I mean, like, if you kept him on the stand with the backdrop, let's bring it down a little bit. Like, obviously he can't like do anything too extreme on there. If you kept him on there, he just can kind of do like a basic standing pose. So, you know, I mean, for what he has set up there, that just works out. That just, yeah. But let's see if we can get him changed around here. I never touched or used this figure before, so... Hey y'all, sorry for the rough edit here. I had to redo this part of the review unboxing just because, yeah, it was just one too long. Second, lot of errors or just weird inconsistencies, like, you know, didn't make it there. Do apologize for anyone watching this that the video came out so late. I just was not happy with the final product, and yeah, just wanted to re-record a lot of this so that way can get it better. So when I talk about that, we'll put his weapons back in, so he can use his weapons in either hand, and his gun, basically you just put it back in like this, his fist, and you just attach his gun like so, and there you go. And then on each side of here, where this gray piece here is actually where his sword sits in traditionally. So you actually put his sword in like there, and then that's how you bring it out, so that way it's right beside his fist there. But yeah, he can set the sword right in there. He can also actually, there's a peg hole here, so he can actually attach it from the side here too, and have it like that. So you do get a couple options, and it's just kind of almost big enough to almost sit it in his hand too, like that, with the grip. So yeah, you do get a couple options with this sword. I prefer, when I have them on display though, so far, to have it traditionally like this, which I just like. Just when you're not using the weapons in robot mode, they are meant to hold on the back here. So there's these two little $5 kind of peg holes, and you just kind of stick that in there. And this one, actually, this little circular thing on top there, that's kind of what he fits on. Or, oh, sorry, no, not that part. These parts here. The little, there's little kind of, yeah, just kind of little things. One's a little bit bigger than the other, but yeah, you just use them to stick that in right there like that, and it holds it. And on the pictures, it was showing to do it the other way, the instructions, but sadly the hole in this side that I have, it's actually not, it's actually too loose. It's like it drilled out too much. So whether I do this side here or the other side, it doesn't quite hold on to that good enough, and it just falls out. So I've been placing it on this side if I'm using storage, and the sword on this side. And the sword, like, it stays in, but it's still, you can still feel it's pretty loose. Like, you could just move it a bit like this, and yeah, comes right out. So yeah, just something to warn. Like, it is nice that they did give him spots to keep his weapons there in the back, and even in robot mode, he's got places to hide his weapons, both weapons. So yeah. But we'll start with his transformation now. So his transformation to vehicle mode. The one thing I will warn, he is one of those kind of a part. I don't want to say parts former, but he is a bit of a shell former, and he does have a lot of panels and stuff. So, you know, you're going to be moving stuff around and whatever. That's just something that happens with these type of figures, because I mean, it's hard to get good detail in robot and vehicle mode without doing that. So yeah, you basically, for his hands, so I'm gonna put this back to how it was. So his hands, like you've seen, like they just go inside like that. For his fists, this part here underneath just comes down like that and like that on both sides. And this part here comes down, and all it is that this part here snaps into that little part there. But yeah, you just pull that down. We're going to pull out his hips some so I can move this. And we're going to start to move this part here back. This part here back. And before I get too far, we're going to turn back around the front. So this part here where his head snaps in, you just pull that up after you pull out his chest some. Pull that up like that. And then all this is going to do, this part was here, just flip it up so it covers his face. And then his whole head and neck and everything goes in there. And then these snap in tight on the front. You have to make sure they're pushed in tight because, yeah, he's very, very particular in how he transforms. So, where we are, get these back down here. Oh, come on. Like I said, he is a little bit annoying and stiff with some of the stuff. Oh, there we go. Okay, so now that that's all free, we can finally pull him down like this. And we'll put the hands up here because now we're going to rotate this whole body all the way around. Now here comes the start of the fun stuff. So put the wheels that are inside, just flip them around like that. The leg I'm just going to secure temporarily just because I don't want them all moving and flopping around. Now, the arms here are kind of a fun and sore spot. Basically, what we're going to do is that there's these things here first. They're very hard to flip after in the instructions. They show you to try to flip them after. But you have to have these moved down like this. They're actually harder to move after you have it kind of situated. So we're doing that now. And now that we got him kind of like this, we're going to turn these arms around and push these up, because what we need is for these to go up and this to go back. And if I can get it the right way. And when I was doing this transformation for the first time, this is one of the reasons why this part annoyed me so much and why I wanted to reshoot it, because the transformation, there was a couple things I did in the wrong spot, and there was a couple things too that it's just annoying a bit. So turn this one around too. Put it back this way. Get it over here. And both of these parts just kind of sit in there. And then this part here. Now this part is a little bit tricky. That one went okay. But sometimes I found when I was doing this part here, it didn't always click in right. And sometimes there would still be a gap. It needs to be completely flush like that. Like, you shouldn't really see any large gaps or anything there when you have that pushed in completely. And then for his top here, these two parts here just go down together. They don't really snap in together really or anything. You just kind of push them down. Just make sure these are kind of lined up on the back here, because that's part of the section for his legs to line up. And this part here, with this Autobot symbols on the side, just flip down there. And that's got most of the main cab done. This part here, it kind of folds in on itself and goes up to make the front. So you had that like this, and then you just kind of push up here, so that way it goes like that. That snaps in, and then these just kind of peg in on the. They have a peg and also like a little tab that you just press in. But yeah, that's the front part done. And now we'll start on the legs. So with the legs, these parts here come off or pull forward. They are very annoying because they don't like to. There. Try to release it some. They have like a little section here that like clicks in, and then this part, there we go. And then these parts here, they turn all the way around like that. Now, getting to the annoying part. So we'll turn to the feet here, and the feet just go in and over like that. So again, turn it like that, and you have to kind of press in and over because it needs to be able to get past that tab. Now, I think some people see where this is going. You just kind of connect them back together. But first, you got to put his sword. His sword's got a weird spot here. It only goes one way, and it's got this kind of little hole here. So you have to kind of snap it in there, put the leg in, then kind of slot the handle in that little hole in between. I get what they were going for to try to make it so it fits and so it stays in here, but it's such a fucking weird spot. Let's just admit that right now to have it slot in and everything. But yeah. And before I actually close that, I actually did that wrong. I should put these back up because those don't go back down. So yeah, so now we'll slot that back in. Just try to line these wheels up as best we can before I get to the final part. And when you get these two, this is what, like I said, like these help lock his legs. So you just press those down, and those help keep his legs steady, those little thigh thaps that we had earlier. Thigh guards. And then this part is the most annoying part because it's hard to do. You have to try to press this down, and then there's those two tabs and that little peg hole, and it fits with that little tab there and that peg hole. I mean, that peg and this peg hole. But yeah. It's just a little bit annoying because it sometimes wants to resist it. Like this side here didn't actually go in all the way. There we go. And then all I do here is that I just, after I get this all in, I try to press this down some because the wheels are weird on this thing. So, well, he does have 6 wheels. Only the kind of these front two and these first two of the back are actually like really movable. I have not been able to line up in a way so like these last 2 back wheels actually touch the ground too. I think that's just because of how he's made and how they did it. I think they just figured as long as you have wheels, like at least 4 of these wheels touching so you can roll them, aesthetically it looks close enough. I kind of wish you could move it in a way, but it's sadly just because of the way his legs are and the way everything is situated. But the last part, a couple last parts do. So he has these little things on his thin side. You just pull them out like that, and all that does is that it just makes so when you have them closed like this, it just kind of makes them narrow. But when you pull them out like this, at least from the side view, it just fills it out a little bit better, and it just makes it look more like an actual cylinder, like an actual like tank, gas tank kind of deal on the bottom. And then his weapon with these little kind of like square pegs, it just sits in here. There's a little teeny hole. It's hard to, sorry there. Little teeny hole right there. Little hard to see. What I usually do with these ones, because of the way he is, I usually put it on the side with this square or this flat side out. And the reason I do that is because if you put it on the side with a cylinder type little scope thing there, it makes it a little bit harder to actually press it on and keep it on. But if you do it this way, it sits in a lot more nicer, a lot more smoother, and doesn't fall out or anything. It's actually in there pretty good. But yeah, that's now his vehicle form. And like I said, rolls pretty good. You can see there. And besides that, like, pretty nice detailing too on the vehicle. And one thing, like, it's no hit against this, but when you have any of these ones that have like a lot of panels, obviously it's justifiable, because that's how they can get the vehicle and the robot forms as nice as they can be. But also too, when you look at this, especially when you look at like the way they kind of did the striping in the paint app, I wish they actually did do a little bit more paint apps on the actual vehicle form, because the vehicle form, like from the front, looks pretty good. I wish they did a little bit more detail on his Autobot symbol that's supposed to be here, because it's just like a flat emblem and you can't really tell what it's supposed to be. Like, I wish they actually put some detail there. But, you know, when you kind of turn to the side, I don't know why. Oh, snap that back in. But this side the paint looks good. This side the silver paint looks very cheap. And like, even though it's the same paint, I think it's just because of the lack of detail on this. It's just the regular red plastic with the on it. Almost like a certain can't say legally, just, but you know, a certain swoosh. But yeah. Pretty good detailing on the wheels. Like the wheels, they're plastic, but they have it's hard to explain. It's like a pseudo rubber feel. Like, they're textured and they have a nice grip, so that way you actually do feel a difference. And the inside of the wheels, like, you can actually see the individual lug nuts and everything. I love that. That's really, really good detailing. Like, it's kind of amazing when you see these figures and the places that they decide to put all the details and the places they don't. But yeah, like the panel forming, like I said, I'm not huge on it, but you know, that's how they have to do it to make it work. Overall, the back of this figure here, like when you're looking through the back and stuff, like this is very bare bones and this kind of like sucks. But you know, I would kind of hope that they would make, even though I don't think he had really a trailer in Rise of the Beasts or anything. It'd be awesome if to actually have a trailer or something else to go on the back here, just to homage him a little bit better. But yeah, that was a look at Rise of the Beasts Optimus Prime. I'll probably be doing more Studio Series figures, because like I said, this is kind of what I wanted to get into. But yeah, sorry again for the late on the video there. Hopefully my other ones won't be like this. As just, yeah, like I said, there was just a lot of things wrong with the video that I didn't like, and I didn't feel it gave proper quality and gave it didn't feel like it gave enough to the figure itself. Like, I felt like I wasn't doing the figure just enough justice, like, with how it was. Because I do actually, so far, have loved this figure, and I have transformed him back and forth several times already since owning him. Because, he, like, you know, while I don't like panels, it is, like, still enjoyable, because, yeah, he is, like, kind of a very cool, kind of very unique flavor. And I do love, like, how he has that mix of the modern movie series, like with Michael Bay and the Nightverse films and stuff. Like, you know, he does have that modern look from them, but he also still feels like in this, in robot form, he has a bit of that classic G1 Prime to him too. So yeah, hope you all enjoyed that. Enjoy this video and then enjoy the next one. I have to. I'll be trying to do another Masters Universe really quickly there too. Like I said, just had a bunch of things happen and didn't like how the videos were going. And life has been really busy with getting back to work and doing other stuff. So yeah. See y'all. Have a good day.